I grew up between Devon and South Africa. My childhood was pretty much spent outdoors in nature. I was the art-obsessed kid in the art department at school. I, to the detriment of my other subjects, I think, just focused very much on that. I find art to be completely central to what we do, mainly because it just feels like the most important part of an interior. I feel like sort of upholstery and soft furnishings and things like that are all just sort of that sort of thin layer on top, and it's the art which really makes a space and can actually have the biggest impact on you in your everyday life. Where we don't have a private client who we are in kind of constant dialogue about their personal life and how they live and what moment, at what time of day, on what chair they like to have their cup of tea when they wake up in the morning. When you haven't got all of that information, my approach is to basically create it and make it up. The idea of this apartment was to create something quite colourful and quite bold, and to some degree it's my kind of interpretation of like a bachelor pad. It's our sort of signature mix, I guess, of lots of beautiful antiques as well as bespoke pieces. So there's always a little bit of the kind of contemporary offering of what's going on right now in terms of beautiful design mixed with antiques, and then also lots of beautifully made kind of crafted commissions with artisans, really. I really am of the opinion that your environment and your habitat can enrich and improve your life. I grew up between Devon and South Africa. My childhood was pretty much spent outdoors in nature. I was the art-obsessed kid in the art department at school. I, to the detriment of my other subjects, I think, just focused very much on that. I find art to be completely central to what we do, mainly because it just feels like the most important part of an interior. I feel like sort of upholstery and soft furnishings and things like that are all just sort of that sort of thin layer on top, and it's the art which really makes a space and can actually have the biggest impact on you in your everyday life. Where we don't have a private client who we are in kind of constant dialogue about their personal life and how they live and what moment, at what time of day, on what chair they like to have their cup of tea when they wake up in the morning. When you haven't got all of that information, my approach is to basically create it and make it up. The idea of this apartment was to create something quite colourful and quite bold, and to some degree it's my kind of interpretation of like a bachelor pad. It's our sort of signature mix, I guess, of lots of beautiful antiques as well as bespoke pieces. So there's always a little bit of the kind of contemporary offering of what's going on right now in terms of beautiful design mixed with antiques, and then also lots of beautifully made kind of crafted commissions with artisans, really. I really am of the opinion that your environment and your habitat can enrich and improve your life.
Good evening and welcome to KLC's Award Ceremony 2020. This is KLC's first ever online award ceremony, being broadcast live from our studios over at Chelsea Harbour. But whilst it's a slightly different medium, this award ceremony is going to run along familiar lines. I will shortly be introducing our very special guest speaker. We have a message from one of our very successful international graduates wishing our new graduates well. We will then be celebrating all our graduating students' achievement as they are presented their formal qualifications. Grace Lee, our top diploma student from last year, will be telling you about her experiences in the industry since graduating from KLC and introducing the top student awards. And then Jenny Gibbs, our principal, will be counting down this year's top students. That will be the end of the live segment, but that's not all. The awards will be continuing immediately afterwards on the KLC website, as the project awards and industry awards will be revealed with special pre-recorded video messages from our industry sponsors. Now, whilst I have the opportunity, I would particularly like to thank the KLC team, who Jenny and I very much think of as the KLC family. With the global pandemic and recent turbulent times, we have faced truly unique challenges, and KLC staff have done a brilliant job in very difficult circumstances. There has been an extraordinary amount of hard work that has gone on behind the scenes to enable the immediate swap to online learning, and then to support the students right through to the end of their studies. The KLC team have shown remarkable resilience and have truly gone above and beyond to do this. Jenny and I are incredibly grateful for all that you have done. Thank you. As a family-run higher education institute, KLC is an open and supportive school with an international student base working all over the world. And we're continuing to look for more ways to inspire designers of all ages and backgrounds to consider a career in interior design. We're looking to increasingly make our courses more accessible and to find ways to further support students, particularly Black, Asian and ethnic minority students, throughout their studies. As part of the Design Changes Lives Foundation, we are launching a competition this autumn in conjunction with Grand Designs Live, to nationally inspire and encourage young designers. This is aimed at sixth formers to raise awareness of career opportunities in the many different sectors of our ever-expanding industry. And the prize is a full scholarship on our degree programme starting in September next year. For in these challenging times, it really puts a spotlight on the fact that design has the power to transform lives. Interior design is a future-proof career with transferable skills, and the industry is a fast-moving, responsive and creative industry already reacting fast to the need to adapt in current times. Practices are bouncing back and there are career opportunities emerging for our graduates, which we will be here to help and support you find. This evening is our formal graduation, but first and foremost, it is a celebration of our graduate successes, and I congratulate you all. We are incredibly proud of you and all that you have achieved. We hope that as alumni you will be staying in very close touch with us so that we can continue to support you in your new careers and share in your successes. And whilst we are announcing our graduates' names during the awards, please give them a huge round of applause and take to social media to share the joy and excitement of this moment. Now let me introduce you to this evening's very special guest speaker, Sophie Ashby. Sophie gained a BA in History of Art before going on to study interior design at Parsons in New York. Establishing Studio Ashby not long thereafter, she creates spaces with a unique identity. Studio Ashby's aim is to bring authenticity to each project, and Sophie draws on her love of antiques, colour, contemporary world art, modernist furniture, photography and her latest discoveries to deliver an eclectic richness to each interior. She's deservedly managed to establish her place amongst the most exciting designers working today, and in record time, by not creating just one look and repeating it, but by being brave and having an expansive vision. Or as the press describes it, her cool cosmopolitan eclecticism has catapulted her into the big time. However, whilst she undoubtedly has a great eye and a sense of style, Sophie's real secret weapon is that she's just incredibly nice. It is therefore my great pleasure to welcome Sophie Ashby with a special pre-recorded message from her own stylish home.
I'm Sophie. Congratulations on your graduation. I have been asked to say a few words, and I thought I would try and be practical and give you some tips. I had a lot, and I've only got 5 minutes, so I'm going to reduce it down to 3 and hope that they're the most useful ones. So, a lot of you will be graduating today with the intention of trying to get a job in the industry, and some of you maybe have plans to set up on your own straight away. But either way, hopefully these will be relevant. So the first tip is don't focus completely on the style of the studio that you manage to get a job at. I think a lot of the young people I meet and interview today have this very clear vision of what they're all about. And maybe that's thanks to Pinterest or Instagram kind of making it a bit easier. But there's so much to learn from someone whose style doesn't necessarily speak to you personally. I think so much of the job, probably 80 or 90% of the job, is about logistics, firefighting, problem solving, procurement, liaising with suppliers, project management, and all of that stuff is what you need to learn, particularly in the early years. Because, coming on to my tip number 2, style is a ever-evolving, changing thing. I think it gets richer and over time, and it kind of matures and it grows and it develops. I can kind of look back on the work that I did 10 years ago or 5 years ago, even when I started Studio Ashby, and we've moved on a lot from then. And I think it's really important to soak in as many references as you can. And there are just some things that you need to know about, whether that's Charleston House or Kettle's Yard or Sir John Soane Museum or Villa Bolsani or various architects, artists. So, try and soak all of those up, because they are going to build on whatever kind of innate style you have and make it richer. My third tip is really think about going it alone and doing that potentially prematurely. I was 25 when I started Studio Ashby. I had 4 years of experience before that. In truth, it wasn't really enough experience, and whilst I don't regret at all going out on my own, I did so without really realizing that that's what I was doing. And I think, there were some pretty major gaps in my knowledge and my experience. And there's a huge amount to be said for working with other people. Some of the most senior members of my team are completely instrumental to what we do. And I don't think they have a particular sort of burning desire to do it for themselves. I think that they get huge satisfaction out of doing it together, and there's a real power in kind of teamwork. So I would say that that's not something that you necessarily should feel any pressure to find this entrepreneurial spirit or feel like you just desperately want autonomy over what you're doing. I think it's quite a long road, and there's a lot to learn. It's a complicated business in many ways. So those are my 3 quick fire tips What I would also say is with your classmates, show up for each other and become a part of the design community in any way you can. I think I've always had the approach that being quite honest and open and upfront with people gets me quite a long way. I think that when you are able to pick up the phone to a competitor or someone in the industry and ask for advice and just admit that you don't know what you're doing, sometimes that's totally fine. And so it's good to have allies and kind of build each other up and look out for each other. So congratulations. I wish you the very best of luck, and I look forward to seeing how you all flourish and step into the world of interior design. Thanks so much. Bye.
Hello, my name is Bukola Adeyemi. I'm the creative director of the Yellow Interior Design Company, an interior design company based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm also a 2014 alumni of KLC School of Design. Since leaving KLC, I've gone ahead to do my master's in interior architecture and design. I've won awards, competitions, and I've also been very active in the Nigerian interior design scene. I've been very active also in continuing my education. So I'm currently a postgrad student at Cambridge, and I'm the Public Relations Officer of the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria. KLC School of Design has been like a passport to the design industry for me, but internationally in Nigeria and just everywhere I go. It's been a lot of networking, meeting a lot of colleagues and peers in the design industry. And just the mention of KLC has been, like a door opener to different opportunities for me. I was the deputy editor of an interior design magazine in Nigeria. I've collaborated with a lot of design creatives in the industry in Africa, in Nigeria, and actually all over the world as well. So it's been a very wonderful, challenging, but very wonderful and inspiring experience so far. Being in the design industry in Nigeria has been quite, it was a challenge at first, but being a KLC alumni and all the skills and tools that were given to us in school helped me to propel my career in interior design. What KLC also does for you is give you the confidence boost to actually stand as not just a junior, but as an equal in the industry, and you know what you're doing. You have that confidence in what you've learned in school, and you see that no matter where you go, you stand out. KLC has given me a sense of identity, my individuality, and I found my creative style as an interior designer just by going through the four walls of KLC. It's been a very challenging year so far, but with the challenges comes opportunities, and you find that design is actually the solution to a lot of problems that people are looking for now. There's limitations on going outward, so everyone has come to that point where they're looking inwards. So what your skills and your talents as an individual is what would make you stand out in the industry right now. So even though it's been a challenging year, it's those things that you've learned, those inbuilt discipline and professional skills that make you stand out and create those opportunities that you need to shine and excel in your career. Being a designer has been wonderful, and I would like to congratulate and encourage the graduates that the sky is the limit. The world is an open book, and just get ready to go out there and show who you are and what you stand for. The industry waits for you, and we're excited to have the excellent graduates come from KLC. Congratulate the staff and management of KLC School of Design. I wish you a happy graduation. Thank you.
Anita Blatch, Catherine Smith, Dora Vermes, Hannah Ellis, Jessica Burke, Carol Tuff, Donna Davies Brackett, Siobhan Hughes, Melissa Reed, Kirsty Schaffler, Lauren Wand, Kerry Lyon, on-site foundation degree in interior design, Agna Swibenet, Andrea Signorelli, Ella Simeon, Annabelle Smithson, Freya Bennett, Rosie Welburn, Polly Dunn, Alina Gibbsgard, part-time Diploma HE in Implied Interior Design, Abigail Leyburn, Anastasia Kalina, Anne Bamelis, Aman Okavan, Flor Lesker, Chrissy Yu, Lauren Perlman, Laura Hunter, Lena Hernandez, Marilyn Cornett, Sandra Baldwin, Sarah McCauley, Sylvia Yasmina Lighttowler, Zoe Allen, full-time Diploma HE in Implied Interior Design, Abigail Hayward, Alexa Pfaff, Amelia Beastall, Claire Chapman, Clemency Horsell, Esther Ramos Ripolis, Eva Au, Georgia Hinge, Monty Adekanambi, Isabel Dryburn, Isabel Roberts, Isabella Parham, Isadora Gizoni Yonkers, Jamie Brooke, Jessica Kernock, Jenny Kazina, Kate Fulford, Katie Ryan Brown, Katrin Granland, Lauren Wozniak, Lindsay Potter, Lucinda Swain, Meg Wiley, Giles Parry, Melia Malmquist, Olivia Lemarchant, Roshani Patel, Pawanjit Gill, Sophia Rizova, Ramona Bansal, Vanessa O'Connell, Naomi Pastega, Sophie Marsh, Celia Lau, BA Hons in Interior Design. Habiba Malik, Rushi Gupta, Tina Fu, and Sienna Major.
Good evening, everyone. I am Grace Xiaozhou Li. I graduated last year from the full-time diploma program. And I am very excited and honored to be here to introduce the Top Student Awards 2020. First of all, big congratulations to all the students. I know how challenging and intense the programs are at KLC, and you've made it, and it is a big accomplishment. Also, congratulations to all the tutors and staff. You've created another group of amazing qualified interior designer. This moment really hit me hard. It's almost a year since I was standing there accepting the Top Student Award from Jenny. That award meant a lot to me. I was working in marketing and as a food critique in Canada before I moved to London. KLC was my first year in this new city. I have to admit there wasn't much social life or exploring the city. Many evenings and weekends were spent on school projects. However, the moment I was honored that award, I felt very proud of myself. It assured me that effort, hard work does get rewarded, and I made the right decision to change career. It was acknowledgement and recognition of my hard work, and it also gave me confidence to go into the real world. Right now, I work at an amazing studio, Nicola Harding & Co., where I get involved in very interesting projects, working with amazing colleagues and industry professionals. And I feel very lucky that they also care about environment and sustainability, which is very important to me. I'm still very junior in the industry, but the past 1 year has made me grow really significantly. And I strongly believe that KLC prepared me for all the challenges ahead. First of all, KLC helped me build the strong foundation of skills and knowledge. I have to say that I may not be able to calculate the fabric quantity of some window treatments from the top of my head, but if I have a conversation with the curtain maker, I can have a very constructive conversation. I may not be able to detail out a joinery piece, but I can communicate the design to the builder in a way that they understand very easily. And all of this was because of the various lectures I had at KLC. For that, I cannot thank the tutors enough. Also, KLC gave me some wonderful friends from different age groups and backgrounds. During the course, they gave their hard work and creativity inspired me so much. And after graduation, they continue to support me. So for example, if I need a second opinion on the small detail, like picking between two tabletops, they're there to offer me their thoughts. If I need to find a supplier for a certain piece, they're there to give me recommendations. So I never feel alone in this business. Last but not least, KLC has wonderful career service. I have done several different internships, work experience, and freelance work for top studios, and all through our forum and Gita directly. Gita is so amazing and knows the strength and interest of every one of ours. And she sends us into the right direction. I thank Gita for helping me to get where I am today. The journey is tough, but very fascinating. I guarantee you the real work is much less intense than KLC, and all of you are ready. We're lucky that interior design is one of the few professions where your passion becomes your vocation. Right now, I'm working on a hotel project, and when I see the design gets realized right in front of my eyes, for example, the lights I sourced to go onto the wall, the bar I drew gets built, that fulfillment and excitement makes all the hard work worth it. And I hope that you guys get to experience that amazing feeling very, very soon. Congratulations again, and good luck with your future. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by talking directly to our graduates. We are acutely aware that you have had a very difficult year. Many of you studying on site have had to switch and adapt to studying online. All of you have had to cope with the pressures that lockdown and the pandemic has brought, whether it's been key partners, homeschooling, worries about elderly parents, or financial concerns. The list goes on, but it's meant that you haven't had the experience with us that we would have liked, and we're so sorry about that. Now, although we can't be together this evening, I do hope that nevertheless you are having a huge celebration, because you are amazing. We are so grateful for the resilience you've shown, for the positive and supportive way that you've continued your studies. It is an extraordinary achievement on behalf of both staff and students alike that the standard of work is so high at the end of this year, as evidenced in our stunning online graduate show. One of my colleagues remarked, I think very aptly, that you are a year of overcomers. Now, normally on this occasion, we have with us lots of leading figures in interior design. These are people who've worked with us over the years, whether it's been giving advice, talks, projects, work experience, internships, employment, or CV enhancing awards. However, they have been working very closely with us behind the scenes, and the result is the most extensive list of awards that we've ever had. This is because we wanted to make the occasion as special for you as we possibly can, and these awards are going to be judged and presented by leading designers and key figures in the industry. Now, every single one of you is to be congratulated on completing the journey with all the twists and turns this year and what you have achieved. But we've come to that moment when we honour those students who've gone above and beyond, whose efforts and grades are the highest overall, and they are our top students. And I would like to announce those names to you now. So I'm taking my first Oscar envelope here for the online foundation degree course. And I'm going to read the citation from this student's course leader. This student's previous career gave her an eye for detail, and her investigative skills as a former police detective were combined with her passion for design, developed a strong portfolio. Described as a pleasure to work with by tutors and peers, she is already working in the industry and has become a KLC ambassador, volunteering to give talks and share her experience with new students. And the top open learning for FDA student is Kerry Lyon. So next we come to the full-time foundation degree, the FDA. This student has a scientific background, but is immensely creative and is always brimming with innovative ideas. With time and practice, they've learnt to hone these ideas into beautiful, complex solutions that demonstrate consideration of client and brief. Our congratulations to Andrea Signorilli. We now come to the Diploma in Higher Education, the DIP-HE. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may spot that I'm actually holding two pieces of paper, and this is because it was so close this year that we have joint top students. But before I announce them, I do want to give a mention to Lorraine Hunter because it was so close and she was only a mark or two behind them, and I want to congratulate her for everything that she has achieved this year. So moving on to this top two, her course leader writes, always motivated, hardworking and dedicated to the course from the very first day. This student has pushed themselves to grow and develop as a designer. With a background in modern languages and law, their enthusiasm and passion for design has allowed them to develop a unique way of approaching projects. Her course leader describes her as outstanding, and that is Isabella Parham. And secondly, with a degree in history of art and a successful PR career behind them, this student has shown a mature and professional approach to problem solving throughout the year. Her awareness of the need for designers to adapt to present circumstances and come up with creative solutions while still answering their clients' brief shows her deep understanding of the industry and its role in changing our lives for the better. And that student is Amelia Beastel. And finally this year, our top BA Hons student. Prior to studying at KLC, this student had an established career as an architect, but felt that the real magic was what happens inside the walls. During her studies, she's shown a deep understanding and sensitivity to client needs, which is translated into beautiful and innovative final designs that have been stunningly and intelligently communicated. Will you please all congratulate Rushi Gupta. Now I just have a few closing things that I would like to say before we part. First of all, everyone at KLC has been desperately keen that the end of the year should be as special as possible for our graduates, and everyone has worked really hard to achieve that. But there are a few people who've really gone above and beyond, and I would like to mention them this evening. Firstly, Julia and Andy and Simon for everything they've done to get this live broadcast together. To Stuart and his team, Amy, and Fraser and Roya and Charlotte, who've been working night and day to get the awards and the online show up on the website. To Geeta for her sound advice. To Kathy for her amazing unflappable liaison and organisation. And to Sam, and that's Sam Miller, who is the graduation guru, and for everything she's done to see it through from conception to completion. Our huge thanks to them. And now I would like to, on behalf of us all, congratulate our graduates and our top students. I think that if you're the future of the industry has a very, very bright future indeed. Right now, those awards are alive and indeed live on the KLC website. So click on the link in the chat and you can go straight across and see all the winners and commendations and comments from the judges. Now I am going to go straight home too. I'm going to put my feet up and I'm going to watch those awards. I'm going to be armed with a suitably delicious glass of something fizzy, and I am going to toast our wonderful year of overcomers.